reminder that tomorrow is Blessed Mother's birthday. We do great things for other people, but what can you do for Our Lady for her birthday tomorrow? Think about it. Prepare for that. Have a beautiful birthday with her Mother Mary. Nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritui Sancti. Amen. In the epistle, Paul is explaining that the history of salvation came through Abraham and his descendant, Jesus Christ. And faith in Jesus Christ is what gives us salvation, but it still came from Abraham, and then 430 years later came Moses with the covenant on Mount Sinai and the Ten Commandments, and then but Jesus is the fulfillment, and that's why we have faith in Jesus Christ to get the graces to obey God's rules. In the Gospel, it talks about the 10 lepers. So they asked Jesus to have pity on them. They prayed, they asked. And each one of us, hopefully we are people that are praying, asking God to have pity on us. There's a big difference between just going, God, give me this, which most people do. They treat God like their servant. God, I need to get well. Why don't you got me well? God, I need a good job. Why get me a good job? Where these lepers, they were humble and they really need help, because when you were a leper, you could not be part of society. You were sick. You got worse and worse. You had finally died from leprosy, a horrible death, as Saint Damien died in Hawaii, serving the lepers. But the worst leprosy is sin that you can't see. And it is a ugly, horrible sin of the soul. And are we saying, Jesus, have pity on me, heal me, give me the strength, the graces to not sin anymore? Do we go to Him in confession with humble sorrow? Sad to say, many people go to confession, but they're not really sorry. It's like, God, forgive me my sins, I want to go to communion. No, that's not humble. Then we see, though, here, this guy, he's praying, and Jesus listened. And Jesus sent them away to see the priest. He didn't just say, you're healed, go, be happy, have a nice life. No, they had to do what the law said, that they had to go to the priest. It shows how important the priesthood is to Jesus Christ. He could have said, I am the high priest, the only unique high priest. We don't need those priests. They're not important. Yes, Jesus Christ recognizes the importance of the priesthood. While they were going, all of them were healed, but only one returned. And this one, I think, is very important. I love it that he fell on his face at the feet of Jesus. Why? It shows the humility we need to have towards Jesus. So when you come up to receive communion, you kneel down, receive on the tongue with great, great humility. It's so important. We should prostrate often, down on the floor, before Jesus. And come anytime here and prostrate down at the feet of Jesus. At the feet of Jesus' feet are the dirty, the lowest part of the human body. And this man was so humble before who God is. Jesus is God. As I'm going to keep saying, we think we're God. I'm God, I decide. God should be bowing down at my feet. That's what the devil wants, but that's what we do today. We want God to bow down at our feet, to prostrate before us, and do what we want. We want this, but we're not going to obey you. You get down there like a dog. God, we don't want you in our lives. We don't like your rules. We don't like, I'm going to do what I want. You get down there like a dog. Lay down, get down there, down. How horrible. This guy, he wasn't. He truly had humility, gratitude, and prostrated completely down on the ground at the feet. And we should too, if we are thankful for anything God's giving us. And this I want to talk about gratitude. The word gratitude means recognizing that something good has been done for you, or will be done for you, and going and thanking whoever has done it or is going to do it for you. It's so easy to ignore all the good things that are happening to us. So most of us really have the sin of ingratitude. Ingratitude is not being thankful for all the good gifts and blessings and things that God or other people do for us. They're very rare to hear the word thank you. Thank you. It's like, give me, but no, thank you. God dislikes ingratitude and loves gratitude. St. Bernard said that ingratitude is an enemy of the soul which destroys any human merits of good deeds, corrupts our virtues, and impedes graces. It's like a heavy wind that dries up the fountain of goodness, the dew of God's mercy, and the stream of God's grace. St. John Chrysostom said, the best way to keep God giving us things is to remember what he gives us and then being thankful for them. God daily overloads us with an innumerable amount of benefits and gifts. He asks, and then he asks for nothing for them, but that we thank him. Let's think about that for a second. Right now I'm breathing, you're breathing, we're here. We're Catholics, we're not in a Muslim country, we're being blown up or shot or heads chopped off. We have the sun, we have food, we have some money in our pockets, we have cars, we have friends, we have family, we have grace in our souls, we get to go to the Latin Mass. They're just unbelievable amount of things every second God's giving us. We need to go over them. Most people don't even realize it. They just take it for granted the sun's up. They take it for granted they're breathing. They take it for granted there's air. They take it for granted they have family and friends and meaning their lives. And so, therefore, they aren't even aware of all the wonderful thing God does for them every second. And we're not grateful. I'm not grateful enough, and I'm sure you're not either. You might say, oh yes, I'm always thanking God every minute for every little bit of food I eat, and every little sunshine, and every little pet, and every little friend, and every family. I'm always thanking God. Baloney. We're always just thinking about, I want more. I don't like this. I wish I had more money. I wish I had a bigger house. I wish I had more friends. I always want more. That's not being thankful. So God just gives, and he doesn't ask anything in return. He's not saying, okay, I'm giving you the sun, now keep paying the electricity bill for all that energy that it keeps the sun going so that we can have plants and life and everything and light. Don't forget, keep paying the bill so we can keep that big sun going. No, he gives it for free. He gives us air for free. Are you paying? Okay, we got to keep paying every month so we can have oxygen to breathe. No, it's all for free. All he asks is that we be thankful. And we're not. Let's be humble. Let's be honest. We're not thankful. We're maybe a little bit thankful, but not nearly as much as we should be. St. Augustine says that there is nothing that more pleasing to God than to say, thanks be to God. That expression, thanks be to God. Gracias a Dios. Thanks be to God. Those little simple sayings are like we recognize I am not God. I did not create this huge, wonderful universe. I am not keeping my heart beating, my lungs breathing, the air around me, the wind blowing, the rain coming, the water there to be able to drink. I am not the source of it all. God is. And even on the supernatural level, it's even greater. I'm not the source, I'm the priest that gets to say, this is my body. This is my blood. And it becomes, but God is the source making his real body and blood, soul and divinity come where we can receive them. So we want to be aware. One very important thing would be to have a gratitude journal where you write down all the things. Many times at night, before I go to sleep, it's a beautiful way of going to sleep, just think of all the wonderful things God's done for me in a day. But again, the more you are pleasing to God and thankful to him, the more he pours out his blessings and gifts. The more you're rebellious and sinful, the more he doesn't. So we need to realize that if we appreciate, God will be even more generous. And then we need to be generous too, to others. We need to be, it says, that a hand that receives should not be closed to give. A hand that is open to receive should also be a hand open to give. We all need to remember that. We get a lot, but it's hard to give. Again, because we're selfish. No, it was mine. Kids, they have tons of toys. And they go, he's playing with my toy. And here he's got all these toys around him. That one little toy that the other kids play with is all mad at because of that one little toy. And he's got all these toys. That's how we are too. We got so much. Like, oh, you can't have that. No, I want more. Are we happy that way? No. A thankful heart also is a generous heart. So, as we reflect on this, let us always meditate on all the wonderful things God gives us, and we'll be happier. We can be like, oh man, I hardly have any money. Oh man, life stinks. Or, I'm so thankful for the things I have. Thanks be to God. Nobody patches it. Yes, Amen.